Hi everyone, I'm Roman from Antisyphon, and today I'm going to walk you through another challenge solution from the Antisyphon cyber range. So this challenge is called Colorful Memories. It's been solved by 384 teams. It's worth 200 points. Relatively easy challenge, not as easy as some of the other 200-point challenges, but it's part of the reconnaissance category. And the challenge description says, it is widely agreed that there are 216 web-safe colors. Here's a web page with 215 of those 216 colors. One is missing. The flag is the color standard named. So I think what this is referring to is we're probably going to see some kind of page that has a bunch of colors on it in some shape or form. One of them is going to be missing, so we have to find this list of 216 web-safe colors, and we need to find the color's standard name. And I think what this is referring to is not the hexadecimal representation of a color. So for example, F, which corresponds to white, but instead the color name, which would be white, as opposed to the series of hexadecimal characters. We also have a hint, so let's take a look. I'm not going to purchase any of these paid hints, but I'm going to read the free one. And it says, if you've never heard of web-safe colors, don't fret. It was important back when computers supported maximum 256 different colors, but not all operating systems used the same 256 colors. Do a web search to get the complete list. Let's go to the web page and see what we have. So we have what looks like to be a bunch of boxes, each one of which corresponds to a different color. And there are a few different ways, we can extract this information. We can right-click on a box, we can inspect element, and it will kind of, we can copy over these different colors one by one. We could use some kind of color picker, and manually select all these colors. But I think the easier solution would be to take a look at the source code of this page, see how these colors are rendered, and then use something like a regular expression to actually pull them all out. So I'm going to right-click on the page, click View Page Source, and I'm going to click Line Wrap, just so it renders more nicely. Here we can see a bunch of divs, each one of which has some kind of background color as a part of it. What we need to do is somehow extract all of these different colors and then compare it to against the list of 216 colors and see which one is missing. Like I mentioned, I think regular expressions are going to be the easiest way to solve this. There are a lot of different ways you can use that. You can use some kind of regular expression calculator online. You can use a programming language like Python to pull it out. But one of my favorite tools for these kinds of challenges is called cybersecurity. And it's actually linked on top of the challenge, on top of the problems page. So if I go to cybersecurity, I'm going to take all of the source code with all the different colors, and I'm going to paste it as the input field in cybersecurity. So right now this looks just like a bunch of text. It's hard that we can't really do anything with. So I'm going to look for a regular expression recipe, and I'm going to drag it into X operation, and I'm going to drag it into this recipe. If you've never used cybersecurity, it's a very powerful tool. It doesn't require any downloads. If you just go to this link, it comes with a lot of different operations, a lot of different tools that you can use. Anything from different kinds of encodings like base64, hexadecimal, binary, all the way down to like networking calculations like CIDR range. You can also disassemble x86 binaries. You can run strings on binaries. You can do all kinds of different things. For this input, we're going to use a recipe called regular expression. Regular expressions, or regex or regex, are used to pull information out of a string or match a string to see if it matches a certain format. So in this case, we know that all the colors start with a pound symbol, and they have 6 characters that are hexadecimal. And hexadecimal characters are all characters from 0 to 9 and from A to F. What the regular expression for this string looks like is, first we're going to start with the pound symbol, and then we're going to use the square bracket notation to specify the range of characters that we want to match. So it's all the characters from 0 to 9 and A to F. You can start seeing right here that these characters are starting to be matched as well. And now we want to say that they're going to be exactly 6 characters. So using curly brace notation, you can specify how many characters of the preceding specifier they're going to be. If you use for example, a statement like 2 to 3 means 2 or 3. But if you just specify a single number, like 6, it's going to say that there must be exactly 6 characters that match this regular expression. And we do have case insensitive enabled, which means that even though our alphabet only looks at lowercase characters, the regular expression doesn't care because that these are capitalized, because we're looking at it in case insensitive mode. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of highlighting the matches as part of this output, I'm simply going to list the matches. And so this is going to pull out all of the colors that I can find, and then I'm going to sort them. And the reason I sort them is because I want to be able to compare two sorted lists using a tool called diff. Having two lists be sorted will allow us to a lot more easily find the differences between two lists. It looks like, as expected, there are 215 lines in this output, which is what the challenge told us we're going to find. So the next step is we need to find a list of 216 web-safe colors. So I'm just going to copy this string and go into Google and see what we get. So we need to find a result that lets us copy and paste a list of these numbers. We can use regular expressions again to extract them, but we do need something that we can copy and paste. So let's start with the first example. It gives us a table of 216 colors, and let's see, it looks like we can copy them pretty easily. So I'm going to highlight these values, Control C. I'm going to right click and duplicate this page of CyberChef just so I have the previous work, and I'm going to paste these colors that we copied from this website into this input. Our regular expression didn't find anything because it's expecting a pound symbol, and this input does not have a pound symbol. So all I have to do is remove this symbol, and as you can see, it's going to find 216 lines. So now what we need to do is take this list of 216 numbers and compare it against this list to see if there are any differences. The first thing we should note is this list contains pound symbols, which are going to mess up the results of our comparisons. There are no pound symbols in this output. In this specific case, it's as easy as removing the symbol from here because it's just not going to match on it. But the other option that is a more proper way to do things is you still match for the pound symbol, because, for example, if you had a string of just digits or hexadecimal numbers, this CyberChef will find it as well. If I don't use the pound symbol, you see it has 218 matches. So we still want to match for the pound symbol, but we're going to use parentheses to specify that this is a special capture group. And instead of outputting all of the full matches, we're only going to output the capture groups, which are things inside of these parentheses. And as you can see right here, there are 215 lines sorted. So we're going to take that. I'm going to open CyberChef in another tab and use a different operation called diff. What this will do is it will take two lists of values and compare them character by character, line by line. So I'm going to paste the first list right here. It's expecting a delimiter of 2 new lines. So I'm going to create 2 new lines. And then I'm going to go and paste the second list and enter it here. We do see a lot of results that don't really mean anything to us, because right now the first list has the letters lowercase and the second list has the letters capitalized. And the very easy fix for that is to simply use the to uppercase operation on the original input to get rid of all of these matches. So if we scroll down through the output, we see that 663399 was not found in the second list. And I think we can make it look slightly nicer if we use diff by a line instead of character. Yeah, so it's going to say that this value was not found in the original list. And I think we can, just output it so we don't have to scroll through. So I think if I enter this color, just for the sake of the challenge, we can go back here and we can search for this color, and we're not going to find it. I think if I enter this color as is, it's not going to accept it. So what we need to do is find the color's standard name. And the way I do that is I can just simply search for it. I'm going to put the pound symbol to tell Google that it is a color. And if we look through some of the results, we see that it says Rebecca Purple. You see here that it also says Rebecca Purple, Rebecca Purple. So this seems to be the correct answer. I'm going to copy this name, paste it into the flag submission field, and click submit. I want to make a note that our platform is pretty lenient on graders, which means that whether you put the MetaCTF bracket before or after, whether you have some kind of space at the end, whether you have some kind of space in the middle or an extra character, the grader is pretty lenient, so it's going to accept all of these answers. And just to demonstrate, I'm going to click submit. Yep, Rebecca Purple was the correct answer. Thank you for tuning in. This challenge will still be available in CyberRange. We're going to reduce the point value, publish the solution. If you have any questions, just let us know. There's an email, I think, available from the dashboard, and I'll see you some other time. Thanks.